it started with this idea that I wanted to make something about somebody who was full of light, who was like seemed to be perfect, but also felt really lonely in the midst of the darkness. There's also this like rural myth in Argentina that I was inspired by called La Luz Mala, which means like the bad light. And it's something that people in the countryside say they see when they see like a flash of light in the distance in the night, that they say that it's usually a soul that's going from one realm to the next. And so those two things kind of came together, and then I just started writing. I knew I wanted to make a movie that was going to be like playful and lighthearted. I wanted a movie that my grandma could watch. That was like something that always helped me think about it, because I want to make movies that are for wider audiences. And so it was really, really hard to find that fine line between something that feels like artistically exciting for me, but also accessible for an audience. Also, I wanted to put a lot of myself in this character. I felt like, you know, like when you're using a character as like a vehicle for comedy, like I felt the only way to do it is if I put myself in her, because the only person that I'm really allowed to make fun of is myself. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, like her quest for like admiration and validation, like I was like, all right, I'm just gonna put my terrible, you know, tendencies in her, and then kind of be able to observe it from a distance and have fun with it. This is, for me, and genre-wise, it qualifies as magical realism. I think that word gets tossed around a lot, but my influences are mostly like Latin American magical realism, which tends to downplay the fantastical elements and heighten the human aspects. The guy that also helped us like works on humongo like Marvel stuff, and so she was shooting light, you know, like left and right. She looked like an alien, you know. And it looked amazing, but it wasn't right for the movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it was really about like toning it down. Like what is the minimal version of this? What is like the third world country version of this? You know, like that. I kept thinking about that too. Is like, how do you take fantasy and put it in a space that I know? And I always thought like, you know, if angels and demons in the U.S., you know, they appear from the sky and like, or in a explosion of fire, but in Argentina they would probably take the bus, you know, and just show up at your door and be like, yo, we gotta go, you know. And so it was that approach that was the guiding light for how we did this.